Hello everyone, this is the Great Pumpkin speaking, and welcome to this new army report for Ogre Battle March of the Black Queen. So yeah, our army changed quite a lot, and I wanted to do another army report because it's turned out we're nearly about to unlock all of the last tier of classes that are available in the game. So let's get started. The group of my opinion leaders changed quite a lot, namely because I ran out of characters to make enough groups. So my lord is now level 14, about the same as what she was before, really. She's got a samurai with her. She's got a pixie that I got by recruiting a fairy from a princess that I got off an item. And she leveled up into a pixie at around level 10. I also got a cherubim now that I recruited as an angel from a shaman. And it is now a cherubim, which I'm hoping to turn into a seraphim soon. Our next group, which consists of another 4 characters, is a demon that got improved from an imp that was in another group earlier. We've still got our werewolf here, and we've got a wild man as well. We've also got a skeleton that we picked up back in the Pogrom Forest, which you already saw in the Slum of Zenobia report. We've got a beastman here who hasn't managed to turn into a beastmaster yet, as well as a Cerberus that we've recruited from an actual beastmaster, if I'm not mistaken. Might be from mage, I forgot. The problem with this group is that I don't have access to a black dragon yet, so I actually want to get that done before I can actually use this group. The group of our witch stayed mostly the same that it was, with the exception that our golem turned into a rock golem after we finished the slums of Zenobia. A special character called Ash joined our group, and he had a group with 2 knights as well as a rock golem. So yeah, golems don't actually change class. You get other versions in the wild and they turn into this, compared to the Nintendo 64 version, where it was predicated on your golem being hit on a certain combination of attacks. We now have a Beastmaster up front, which is really cool. I'm hoping to turn at least one of them into a Dragon Master. I could already technically turn one of them into a Dragoner, but the ally requirements are rather tight, so I'd rather keep my options open. It's also gets pretty good strength from staying as Beastmaster, so I don't really care. I've got Dalmage here, who needs maybe another level to turn it to a Dalmaster, so that would be pretty cool. As for this other group, this is a new one, led by a mermaid that I recruited, if I'm not mistaken, from a shaman, or from somewhere else, I kind of forgot. It might have been with Aisha. Anyway, it changed class back into an Ixie, which allows it to cast Ice Storm from the back once, which touch every single enemies. I've still got an Amazon here, which I'm using as a regular class. Not really great stats, but she does the job. I've got another Beastmaster here, who's a likely candidate to be turned into a Dragon Master. I've also got a Red Dragon that I picked up from the group of Ash, from Lion's group, which we hired after Slums of Zenobia. Our group here changed quite a bit, really. It's led by our Raven Man. It's got a worm that got turned into a Wyvern just recently, like at level 14. We still got an Halloween, who went from level 1 all the way to level 12, which is pretty good. And we've got our Ninja here, who is there to lend a tiny bit more firepower to this group. This group changed almost entirely. It's led by Valkyrie. We've got a cleric that got turned into a shaman. And we've got a princess. Not long, I think it was during Island of Avalon, I got a crown which allows me to turn an Amazon into a princess. The thing about princesses is that not only do they gotta move Starlight, which deals holy damage and touch everyone's, if they're put as leader, they'll give one more hit for every skills of the people in the group. So for instance, if she was leader, that ice giant here, who used 3 clubs in the front row, would actually use 4. And this also affects her, if I'm not mistaken, so she would get to cast Starlight twice. This was a little too powerful, so I decided not to go with it. As I mentioned, our shamans can heal 3 times, not the whole group, but 1. As for that ice giant there, it used 2 different kinds of attack. This is the neutral giant, which may give them a good movement on snow. It used As I said, 3 clubs up front, and another move called Ice Boat 2 times in the back, but it's not particularly powerful. I think the only difference is that it hits Ice Elemental as opposed to the club. This group here, another flyer, consists of a mage. Yes, I've finally managed to turn a wizard into a mage, finally. We've got a ghost. We've got a cockatrice. Yes, I managed to turn a griffin into a cockatrice at last. That wasn't easy. And I've got a vampire. As it turns out, during Slumless Zenobia, a blood kiss dropped. So I managed to turn a knight into one. But I don't know if it's the stats or something. His livestock attack up front doesn't seem to be really powerful. What's nice is that it can hit nearly everyone, and it heals him, but during the day he reverts into a coffin and gets pretty much useless, as well as messing with the team's movement, which in this case isn't all that big a deal. In the back row, he can use Charm to force the enemy to attack their own. It's not so bad, but I don't like relying on this. This is a fairly recent group because I realized that I was starting to get a little over-leveled. So we've got a knight here who got moved from the Opinions Leaders group, which I'm hoping to turn into a paladin. We've got the Titan out back, which we got in the Norns group that joined us recently. He can use 3 clubs up front and 2 Gale in the back, which is around the equivalent of what a Griffin can do, except he can do it twice. It's fairly powerful. It is based actually on int and not on strength, a common misconception as I'm led to believe. We've also got a Silver Dragon that we picked up back in Diaspola, which was the last one we took. I actually put it out back because I wanted it to use cold as opposed to bite. So that's it for those guys. We got plenty of special characters and backups that we don't really use anymore, but if I ever find the need for it, they'll be there. My main problem at the moment is that I've got too many Beastmasters. I can't quite fulfill my challenge so long as I don't have them. I'm hoping that I'll be able to keep one Beastmaster, as well as turn another one into a Dragon Master. As for the last one that's remaining, I'm hoping that by getting a Tigerman into another group, I can maybe move the Wildman or something else into this group. Here's hoping that this is gonna work. So yeah, now we've got 3 choices. The game really starts to open up at this point, because we finished the Castolian Sea and the Diaspola. Now we're headed to the Kalbi Peninsula, which is the lowest level at the moment. Enemies in there are around level 11 or 12. This should be interesting. So yep, I'll meet you back when I've made contact with the enemy. See ya! And welcome back. We're finally about to make contact with the enemy. We've got a Valkyrie along with 2 Griffins that are about to show up, and our opinion leader is gonna try to intercept them. Okay, we've got her. Kiss is a move that boosts the attack power of the unit itself, as well as its defense, if I'm not mistaken. She does that twice in the back row. It's kind of a useless unit at the moment, but it will get better. The Cherubim can use Banish twice in the back row. In the front row, she sends some kind of a halo, holy elemental halo at the enemy, which is usually pretty much sufficient to down things. She can kill undeads, as well as deal a decent amount of damage, but much like the Pixie, the reason I keep her in the group is for her last class. Like, the Pixie is gonna get really powerful once she switches class. Our opinion leader hits like a truck, especially during the day. She did alright. So let's get the second group going. Mabel. Hopefully this time the golem won't die and you'll actually get to see what it looks like when a witch works in tandem with a golem. Physical attack didn't do much to the golem itself. It hit our doll mage and witch pretty hard though. not so bad. Not too bad, we stunned about half the group. Which doesn't really matter, the Griffins only attack once. Our Beastmaster still hit pretty hard. Our Golem did a pretty good job, despite his rather low health. Sadly, Valkyries are pretty powerful during the day. Ah, come on. Is this for real? Well, it's gonna happen. Golems don't hit that reliably, unfortunately. Time for the second group to step up. Everything is in the snow here, so we don't have much choice. It's a good thing I brought a few groups that should be good in the snow. Of course, you'll get to see another fight with this group. I'd get a few groups back because they only function well at night. Should be okay. What are we looking at? An Eagleman with 2 Phantoms this early, that is rather disturbing. Fortunately, we're gonna need a little help if we're gonna deal with this. Or maybe not. Don't think my dragon is gonna do much against those Phantoms. Thankfully, he can take those hits rather well. $22 damage, that's not too bad. 34 from the Beastmaster. This is Ice Storm, which is a nice elemental attack. Fortunately, it missed a lot of people. Actually thinking we're gonna lose this one as well. Now that I know what I'm up against, I might set it against a group that has a shaman or a princess. Dragons are fairly one-dimensional units. They attack physically up front, can breathe fire or ice or acid depending on which position they are. So that's taken care of. Let's send that back to the base. Get our group with a shaman up. It's my only group that can move on snow if I'm not mistaken, so that should make her pretty good. Either is a good choice. This is the princess, so in the lower left. Got our ice giant up front. Ew. It wasn't really good, was it? Oh well. We got rid of those Phantoms, which will help us out quite a bit. But I don't think we're going to be able to wipe this. They're not really weak to thunder, apparently. Can probably fix that with some dark elemental swords or axes. Equipment doesn't really reflect in the way your character works. They're mostly change damage. You don't see it on the sprite like you do in Ogre Battle 64. But then again, back then you only saw the weapon. The armors didn't get displayed. We've got our other group here. It's actually a pretty powerful group. With a Ninja Master or Phantom out back, the Pumpkinhead should get pretty powerful. Oh, come on. You kidding me? Well, at least the ninja got it. I think the computer is cheating. Okay, let's wait for the next one. Mabel should get back to the base. Got a Dragonair there, as well as a few others. I could get a few this way, but I don't really care. Let's move this guy over there. What's his movement type? Oh, it's snow. Good. Okay. Our group has met the enemy. Oh. A mage with 2 healers. That's actually pretty dangerous. Though it's another case where you can see what the AI and developers thought will be a good challenge. This isn't the worst unit I've seen so far. I've seen a unit back in Deneb Garden that was 3 wild men and a cockatrice. At that kind of level, that thing was just brutal. They're doing pretty good. I thought that this would be much worse. As you can see, as Pumpkinheads managed to weaken the enemy, or Halloween in this case, it allows the other unit to clean house. This is a good choice to use with things like a sorcerer or things like that. Even as I said, a phantom or a ninja will do the work pretty nicely. Okay, our other unit is getting the enemy. We're gonna have to move a few of our groups ahead. It's night enough for Transam to do his thing. Since this is a new group, of course, he wasn't set just right. Dragonairs got turned into Dragon Tamers back in other versions of the game. They were added to the female class line in order to balance things a bit. What the female class tree really needs in this game is that they could use magic units as a counterpart to mages such as enchantresses and sirens. This got fixed in further game, but it's a lot of work. Our Titan isn't doing too much at the moment, and then again he's rather low level. So is our Cold Dragon. We actually won that fight. Despite not doing that much damage, really. Okay, we can get that guy back. And get Becker to intercept the enemy. This is a really huge map here. One of the bigger ones in the game, along with the Castolian Sea. This is a fairly decent group. It has good movement thanks to that cockatrice up front. In the back it can turn the enemies into diamonds. That ghost deals a fair amount of damage. The vampire doesn't do much, but that's not its purpose. A mage will use the spell that the enemy is weakest to against the entire party. So yeah, as I said, the vampire isn't doing much. I think the highest I've seen him deal was like 22. And it's at night, which is the moment where it should be strongest. He's a good tank though. That takes care of this group. We only need to see Transam now. We've got this. We've got a demon. Our werewolf out back because it can hit 3 times regardless of where it is. Got our skeleton that is starting to produce a tiny bit. Mainly because it's at night and he's got like 0 alignment. Our one man didn't cover there though. That's annoying. It missed the undead, and it's probably gonna kill him. Yep, it's dead. But that's okay. We managed to cripple them rather well. Send another decent group after them and they should be done. And that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching, everyone. This was the Great Pumpkin. I'll be seeing you back at the next army report, which should be around the time where we've unlocked all of the last classes, with the exception of the Sylph, Seraphim, Devil, and of course the Dragon Master. So yeah, see you later. Bye bye.